Hi everybody who is coming to our virtual channel of Belgrade Photo Month Festival. It's a shame we would like to be in live, in real life, with Carole online, on live. But okay, we have the situation that we have. We're in this kind of lockdown in Serbia and almost in all around the world. Then from the Belgrade Photo Month team, we decide to start to organize some talks with some interesting, important photographers that can talk about a lot of things, long careers, a lot of experience, and a lot of success. Then, of course, this is not we wish because we would like I said, to be in live with a gallery and blah blah blah. But okay, like we say in Spanish, al mal tiempo buena cara. It means if the weather is bad, let's go to put a nice face and let's make the profit of this. Then I think that these conversations with the photographers, these interviews will be very interesting because we can talk with people that is very far from here that probably we didn't expect to have them in the Belgrade Photo Month 2020. And at the same time, it's an opportunity for everybody around the world, wherever they want to see. They can watch and they can listen and they can make questions also to the person with who we are going to talk today. Uh, this is the main thing. Then regarding Belgrade Photo Month, like a physical festival, we still don't have a date for the 2020 edition. We would like that will be during the autumn, but we're not sure today how and when will be, and then probably will be autumn 2020 or beginning 2021. In any case, let's go to enjoy what we have today. We have Carole. Carole, thank you very much for accepting this invitation to be here today.
Thank you, David, to
And
invite
the first question is how you pronounce your surname, because for me, that I am not French, I don't know how to do it.
It's not a French name, you know. It's Bellaïche. It's a Jewish Tunisian name.
Okay, Bellaïche. Okay, very
Yes.
nice name. Okay, Carole is quite known because she's very. I can say that you are more portraitist mainly,
Yes.
and but also she's not taking portraits all the time. But I will say also, and we'll see through the conversation today, and probably if the people enjoy her website, that also she has a properly, how to say, we can say cinematographic language, and could be by different reasons, but she will talk to us about this. Then the first question that I have, Carole, after that tell you thank you very much, is I know that you start very, very early with the photography. I think that you were 13 years old, more or less.
Yes.
And I want to ask, how is that you means why you start so early? Which interest you have? Somebody in the family? Any, I don't know, any kind of influence for you to start so early?
No, no, not my family. My father bought a camera. I was 13. It was a Pentax, and he hid it in the. I remember it was not like this in the apartment. Just he hid it. So, and I had a very very good friend, and we started making pictures together with my girlfriend. She was 13 or she was 14. I was 13. So we started to take pictures, and her father had a laboratory in the cave. You know, I'm sorry, I don't speak very very good English.
Don't worry.
So we begin to make pictures together and to make prints in the laboratory of her father, but we didn't know how to do it. So we began to open the box of paper in the light and things like this. And I begin to make a really to 6 months, maybe 4 months after I began to take pictures, I wanted to make portraits. It was very quickly. So I asked my girlfriend to make pictures with me, and another one and another one. And it was very quickly mechanism who begin like this. So not in my family, but my father was a cinephile, a very big cinephile. So I saw a lot of movies.
Okay,
That's
so
why I think also.
they are a big influence for me, at least there are. Then let me ask you, did you use this camera that was hidden in your home?
Yes, I use it.
It was not a present, it was just there, and then you took it and you start to use it.
Yes, I took it. Yes, that's how I begin with this Pentax, and after I think maybe 2 or 3 years after, I had a Nikon, you know, a classical Nikon, and some objectives, and but because the Pentax was not so good a camera, it was quite good.
I start with Pentax, and I am still with Pentax, still today.
No, but you know, it was I've been told Nikon is very good, so I said, okay, Nikon is very good. I never like really to have too much cameras, because it's like lovers, you know, we have one, it's enough.
Yes, they used to say, my God, it's difficult to manage one, to manage three has to be impossible. I asked this because I was reading today a book about these masters of the photography from Hungary, and they mentioned somehow that it was a tradition at the end of the 19th century, mainly in the beginning of the 20th century. It was
very quickly for me, you know, very quickly.
Sorry, that I was reading today in a book about these masters of the photography from Hungary, that it was a tradition that in the beginning of the 20th century, the families make a present for to the kids, that the present used to be a camera. And for that reason, in that time,
talking about?
I am talking about Brasse, I am talking about Kappa, about Chris, about all these masters. And they say that probably for this reason, on that period, they were such a great photographers. But it just was. Okay. Then let me ask you, very soon, very early also, you had your first exhibition.
Yes, because you know, I went in a house in holidays with it was really a chance with François Truffaut. It was not because I knew François Truffaut. It was a friend of my mother who knew François Truffaut, and he was writing the Dernier Métro with Suzanne Schiffman. I was 15 years old, and I brought my pictures with me because I wanted to show him my pictures.
Your portraits on that time.
Yes, of young girls that we'll see now in my website. And François Truffaut told me, you have to be a photographer. And there was two men who were at the center, cultural center near, not very far. And they asked me, we want to make an exhibition with your picture, because they saw them there. So we made the exhibition in October or November. It was 1 year after, I think, yeah, I was 16. That's why.
Then my next question, but you almost answered, is, can you show us a little bit this work?
So we have to go on my website.
Okay. Do you want to do? Go you to your website.
Yes, I can go. Yeah. Okay, j'y vais.
Well, we have to say that is our first streaming talk.
Yes.
We don't manage so well yet.
Bien sûr. Alors, et comment je fais après? How can I do, David, to...
sharing a screen.
Yeah, okay. Can you show it there?
Not yet. Now, I think that will open now. I think. Yes. Okay, we're in your website, yes? If you can do, yes, perfect. Is this area that you are showing now?
I showed it, yes, it's the series, yes. It was my friends, my girlfriends of my school, and I took my pictures in the flat where I was born, in the apartment I lived. So we decide every Wednesday, every Saturday or Sunday to make the pictures. And so it was our play of the afternoon. You know, we took some clothes because my mother, she bought a lot of old clothes because she had a new shop. So we had a lot of costumes, and I went a lot to see movies. You know, it was really very important for me. And comment dire, I took all the picture. It was a play. It was our play with clothes, with makeup, with mise en scène. Voilà.
Yeah, I understand. Is then I can feel that your family really supported you from the beginning in your passion for the photography. Let's say passion at the time.
Yes, because it was, you know, a very nice place, beautiful. I will make my future book on this place. So I had maybe an influence by my parents, and after I was very free to do what I wanted. So I decided to make a picture, and it was so wonderful to make the picture after to go to the labo, you know, to make the prints and to discover all. It was uh, it was so comment dire,
Magic somehow.
yes, magic, yes. So it was a passion, a very big passion. I was looking so after at the beginning I didn't want to see other pictures of other photographer, but after 2 years after, maybe I begin to look at other photographer. It was so incredible all I saw, and all I can show you some photographer I liked at the beginning, were very important for me.
And then let me ask you also.
Attends, désolé.
This thing happens. Is your phone? Yes.
Yes, it's sorry. Okay.
Okay,
So,
don't worry.
voilà, I come back.
Okay. Yes, I wanted to tell you something that now it went out of my mind somehow.
I can explain a little bit what it was, because you know, I can explain the light. I discovered the light.
Sorry, I wanted to ask you something, because it's true that they say always, and I believe that it's very important to how to say, to see photography, to see the photography of the other photographers, because we learn a lot just looking. Okay, but at the same time, there is probably is one step beyond this. When some people say, and sometimes I feel the same, that we don't want to look to see everything, because sometimes could be an influence on, sometimes you can see that they're doing almost the same that
Yes.
you don't know, and then you are somehow censoring yourself to don't make something that somebody else did, you know.
Yes.
And then there is a bit, probably is a matter of the in which step you are, that is a bit tricky somehow.
Yeah, sure. That's why I didn't want to look at photographer at the beginning. You know, I said, no, I don't want to see pictures, because I didn't want to be influenced. But I think after I had my way of
course.
But sometimes I see, you know, a table with something on the table in contre-jour, and I know Kertész do it, Brassai do it, or you know, it's important to be like friends in
Of course.
pictures. Yes.
Okay, and then let's go on a little bit in the time. And then after 2 years, more or less, you met one in person that was quite important for you, I suppose. But means also, I suppose that the fact that you already knows through the family was something. But you met the Dominique Iserman.
I met her, I was 14 years old. So I met her just at the beginning when I began to make the pictures nicer than the first one, because at first, you know, it was the night was not so good, and it was more exposed or less exposed. But one day I knew that I found a way to make the good technique, because it was I did it alone, so I didn't know anything. So I just tried to make the things at the beginning. And after I met Dominique, because I saw her picture in magazine, and she made portraits of a musician I love. So I wanted to meet the musician. You know, it was I was 14 years old, and when I called her to ask her if she made the picture of this person, she told me, "But who are you? You are very young." And we spoke a lot. And at the end of the conversation, I told her, "You know, I make pictures also." So she told me, "I want to see what you do." And we met 1 week after or 2 weeks after. I bring all my little box of little prints I make. And she said, "There is really something of photographer. So I want to see more, and I think you have to be a photographer." So I showed her every month, maybe every 2 months, I showed the picture I made. And she told me, "For me, you are so good photographer. You have to do this." It was so important for me to hear that. And she helped me
For
after.
the second time. For the second time, because Truffaut already told you.
The two, you know, it was Truffaut, Iserman, of course. It was so important. Sure.
And that time was when she came to Paris after being in Italy, no? When Dominique.
No, she lived in France. So no, she lived in France.
Okay.
Maybe she worked a little bit in Italy, but she's a real French photographer. She worked a lot with the actress and with a lot of actresses. And one day she wanted to make fashion picture, and she began to work with Sonia Rykiel, and she made the first advertising shooting for her. It was beautiful. So after she made a lot with Sonia Rykiel, and after she became a very famous fashion photographer, and made less actors and actresses.
Yeah, because I will read because I don't remember all, but she worked with Dior, with Nina Ricci, with Saint Laurent, with Armani, with Claude Montana, Robert Clergy, Matsuda. Means.
I don't know if she worked a lot with all. She makes with a picture with Dior, with Nina Ricci, it's true, but she made a lot. Maybe not with all those marks, I don't know, but she worked with all the magazine, you know, and in the world, in the States, and she's a big star of the photography, Dominique Iserman.
Let me ask you, did you wear somehow any time in the settings working with her, or just assisting, or just being there?
She never wanted me to be her assistant, so I couldn't learn more with her. She said, your assistant never like this, she told me one day. So I said, wow, it's a pity for me, because I think I could learn a lot with her, but she didn't want. She asked me to make picture of her for magazine.
Okay.
She invited me once to make you know, how do you, comment on dit, you know, photo of the photos.
Okay, yes, the making of somehow, the
making of. So I was maybe 18 years old or 17, and I went to the shoot in the big garden. It was beautiful, and I look at her working with a Japanese person, I think. And I I saw her work maybe 2 or 3 times or 4, not more.
Okay. Did you shot fashion anytime?
Not really, not really. I'd like to, but I never made it. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's a big mystery.
Well, it means depending the period of the history, of course, the kind of portraits or depending which portrait is like a fashion editorial at the end.
Sure.
It means
It was,
a big distance.
yes,
It's not a big
like,
distance. It's just depending from who is the dress and who is hiring you to do the shooting. And
yeah.
then let me ask you, means of course that the fact that she told you that you have to be photographer, of course that you like her work, it was obviously an influence for you. Something, it means, did she influence you something else?
She made me meet my first actress. So it was the beginning of the work with because she was one day she called me. I was 16 and a half. She told me, Carole, do you shoot always with a lot of ISO, you know, on your film, you know, because I put some very strong ISO to make very contrast picture because I like very much contrast. And I told her, no, Dominique, no, I can make pictures with not so much ISO, ASA, it was the word. And she told me, do you think you can make pictures of an actor who need portraits for him? So I said, sure. And I began to work with 1 actor, 2 actors, because she told the actors to call me. She said, I have no more time to make this portrait. So I can send you to a young girl with. So I began to work like this with actors. And after I had my baccalaureate, and after my father wanted me to make some studies, so I made 3 months in Paris 3 cinéma and literature, lettres modernes. And after, you know, I had more and more calls from actors, and I make the book of them, you know, little portfolio for the work. So I met a lot of actors, and I learned to work with them because I told them how to move in front of the camera, and it was like my friends when I was younger, but it was it was wonderful because all this meeting with those people were very strong, and it was my first actors, you know, and I liked very much working with them, and so I made a lot after. So when I began to work with them, after I didn't use anymore my friends to make my own pictures.
Yes.
I took the actors.
Yeah. You mentioned something that I wanted to ask you, and it's very important because I suppose that the times change a lot from your time, from my time, from nowadays. When you start with the photography, and so many important people told you that you have to be a photographer, what you did with your life? That is what I want to ask you. Did you study art, photography? You just going to the photography straight on? What you did?
I wanted to make maybe a school because before, you know, I wanted to make a school of photography. It was a very scientific school. I didn't want to make La Femis l'IDEC, you know, the school of cinema. I thought I prefer to make a photo. So I thought making or Louis Lumière school or another one, I don't remember. It was very technique.
Yeah.
And when I began to work, you know, 6 months after I worked, I made all I wanted. So I was so free. I could work. I could make my pictures. I managed with the technique. So I didn't. Maybe I should learn more, but I learned after. You know, 10 years after I learned because I worked with the big lights and it was. So I never had school. Maybe now, you know, if I have to tell a young because I have 2 children, so I tell them you'd better make make a school because you will be with other people. You will see, you will learn. To go alone like this in this uh, artistic work, it's not very easy, I think.
Yes, and I think that yes, because mainly the times change. Probably also how the schools, the universities are teaching is different than before, and then probably it's true that now is more relevant than before. Not only in photography, I think that in a lot of fields it goes like this. I remember in before there is people that just learn the office. It means one any kind of office or I mean any kind of job practicing. They went to a place, they start to work, and they were masters on whatever.
Yeah, if you know,
It's different somehow.
if you know people, you know it's easier. If
Yeah.
you know people in the, that's or you do you go to school or you know people.
Yes. Well, but by one side, because you were quite well, because somebody else can need more time to learn the technique, for example, because I understand that you need the technique first. And then you need to have the eye, you have to make the story, the composition, and all the stuff, of course.
The technique of the photography is not so difficult. You know, it's not cinema. It's not the
Of
same.
course. Of course.
So I think we can learn very quickly the technique and only what we need because we don't need to know everything in technique for the photo. But in cinema, it's more difficult. Sure.
Okay. Then, and then what it means, at what time, at what age did you start to take the photos to the actors and the actresses in this way, in this professional way, let's say?
Sorry, what?
What age, how old you were when you start to take professional photos to the actors and actresses?
But it was, I was 16, 17, and after, you know, I work a lot, and I think 18 years old, I begin to work more and more, and at 20, it was, I made a lot of portraits of all the people who need pictures to work, all the actors. So I was making only actors people, only that. And after, I decided to make my big exhibition at 21 years old because I knew a lot of people. I worked a lot, so I knew a lot of actor, actress, and agents also, you know, casting and people in the cinema. So I could work with them. They sent me a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it was incredible.
And then let me ask you, I suppose that in a natural way, after this, stars, you start to work or to collaborate with Cahiers du Cinema
It was later.
later.
Yes, it was later. It was really later. It was in 92. So now I am in 85. I begin to make my big series of actor, actress in the museum and my first exhibition in Paris. So I put, because one man told me, if you want, I make you an exhibition in a place in Paris. I said, okay, I will take all the actors and actresses and directors, and I will ask the museum in Paris if I can do my pictures in their place. Okay. Because the museum are places beautiful. I love this sort of place. And
which museum is?
So I went to see the director of, not the director, the woman in the Louvre. Okay. And I go to see her and I said, I showed her my first picture, you know, and I told her, I want to make picture in the Louvre. She told me, okay, you can come on Tuesday, it's closed, you can have to pay a little bit, and after you can make 3 portraits in the day. I said, okay. After I go to the Musée Rodin, after I go to the other museum, and they say, okay. So I begin to my first picture with Juliette Binoche, because I've just met her. We met in 1985. We were 21 years old, and we began to make a lot of pictures together. It was very, very nice meeting with her. I will show you after some pictures. And so after I make every Tuesday pictures of, it was all French or actors, actress or directors, and everyone told me, okay, everyone, I have to call, I send letters, there was no mail at 85, but so I made them with my relais 6.6 black and white. I went, you know, we have some guardian with of the museum only. We were just 3 in all the places, and I made with the daylight, beautiful daylight. It was like a play, and the pictures were very nice. So after that, I had more. I make the exhibition with a lot of press, and it was a very important moment for me. I can show you the picture if you want.
Yes, please, of course.
I can show you just a few.
Okay.
Because I don't have all of them. So this is Philippe Léotard at the Musée Rodin.
Mm-hmm.
This is Emmanuel Béard at le Louvre. This is Philippe Noiret at Musée Rodin also.
Mm-hmm. Very beautiful.
Juliette Binoche at le Louvre.
Beautiful.
It was Julie Delpy, you know, she was very young. She had maybe 16 years old. So I said she will be the, comment on dit, not easy for me in English.
Don't worry.
La petite, quoi.
Yeah, it means you were so young, but it was still somebody younger than you.
She was younger than me. So I said she's in front of the Musée du Cinéma because, voilà. This is Maurice Pialat at Musée Jacquemart-André. It was funny to meet him.
I like very much his movies.
Yes, I like also very much. This is Anne Brochet. She was a young actress at Le Louvre also. Sandrine Bonner. She just made À nos amours.
Yes, I watched it recently, and it was a Pialat mousse somehow. I saw her in a lot of his movies.
Yes. Tom Novembre in the museum of Gustave Moreau.
Let me ask you something. Don't move the photo. Did you ask to him to be like this, or he just played? Because I understand that the actors are actors. The actors, they are making fun, playing, moving. It was something natural on him, and you asked him to do this.
He was very funny because he was, you know, a little bit like Fred Astaire. So he was always playing, and so I asked him to make this, sure, but he knew how to make it. You know, we were trying to do this, trying to do that, and this picture was one of the most the best of the. She's the best. Voilà. But you know, we were playing always. That was so. This is Carole Bouquet. It's the only time I make picture of her. I don't know why.
Okay.
She was with no makeup, nothing, just like this. She said, "I come like this," and it was.
I think that she doesn't need nothing else. You, her, the camera, and that's all. Enough.
She's nice.
Yes, absolutely.
It was Myriam Roussel who played in the Je vous salue Marie de Jean-Luc Godard, you know, and she played also in another Godard movie. I don't remember which one. Do you know which one?
No, I watched several ones, but I don't remember which. I don't remember. I don't put the face in the movie. I don't know.
She was beautiful.
Yes.
Wow. Voilà. Alors qu'est-ce qu'il y a d'autre? Bon, that's all I have on my computer, but okay. I have a lot of.
Nice to see. Nice to work by your work.
Voilà. So now.
It's back. Yes. Okay. And then you keep working, and then what's next?
I made a lot of pictures, you know, for myself. I can show you another series if you want.
Yes, sure.
Before I, attends, because I have other things.
It was any actor, any person who impressed you a bit to ask to take a photo, to take a portrait?
Sure, I was not sure when I met Philippe Noiret, for example. For me, it was you know, a very big actor. I was not. I manage with some people. You know, it depends. When I met Maurice Pialat, I was 23, so I told him just to sit here like this or to try. But it depends how was the people in the. But when I think what was very interesting is to direct them, or the directors or actor, and the people, when you told them to do something, or when you are really they, they know you make really something very important. They follow you. They follow you.
Let me ask you, there is, it's just curiosity, there is a difference between directing for a photo, for a portrait, to a director or to an actor or actress?
Sure.
Yes.
It's really different. Because I will, after when I work with the KG Cinema, I met a lot of directors, so it was really different.
Yeah.
All the actresses I make pictures with them, it was like friends, you know, very, very close relation, because they are girls. I am a girl also, so we like to play, and they trust in me very much, because I made for them their image, the picture. It's very important for the actress, very, very important. So it was always very tender, and also also passion, and also really it's a link very strong between the people you photography, and so I made a lot of pictures of several actresses, you know, during my life, and I can told her we'll see again, and we'll make some picture like this, and that is really interesting, really, really. The actors, it's different, because so they are men, I am a woman, so I can't, it's not really complicity the same, like in between two women, it's not the same, but they are, it's what is nice is I can imagine more movies, you know, I put the actors here, I want to do, or also it's also trust, but not the same complicity between two girls, you know, it's not the same. But I like very much to take pictures of actors also, because all is in this confiance, all in like this, and sort of love, you know, it's between the two people during the picture. It's like a little love story at each time.
I agree. But then you have the third part, that is the director, that probably is much more older. Older than the actors in general in that time, probably. Well, probably not. But the main part of them, they were men, because I think that probably in that time, women, it was Agnès Varda. I don't know who else. I mean, I suppose that you work more with directors, men, no?
Because there is a lot of director men, no?
Yeah, I mentioned that on that time, I remember Agnès Varda, of course, but not so many more. I am not French, of course.
The directors, it's really, really different, because they are complices. Oh là là. Directors are on the other side, like me, you know. So we were the same. So when I take the pictures of Wim Wenders, for example, he looked at my camera. I said, "Ah, you have a Leica. Oh, wow! You must be a very good photographer, you know, like this." But so it was more, how do you make, which lens you have, and the light. So I can talk like this, not because the actors, they don't want to know what happens on the other side, you know.
Yeah.
They just do what we ask them. Not all, but a lot.
Yeah.
But the directors, they don't like to be photographed, so they said I do it because I have to. But it was very interesting because they speak about their movies and the way they work, and it was for me marvelous to
Of course.
some directors. Also. Even in my museum series, you know, I met Jean-Jacques Benex or people like this, and it was always interesting.
Of course. You are going to show us some photos that you say? Yes? Or?
Yes, I can show another little series of pictures I made for myself, because
Yes.
I made a lot of pictures for myself, you know, also. So it was the little, the series in Italy.
Meantime, you're looking for, I will invite everybody to visit her website because it's fantastic. You will see a lot of beautiful works. You can spend all the time that you want, and it is a real pleasure for your eyes. Okay.
Comment on fait? Zut. Wait.
We'll wait for you, don't worry. We're not going to escape.
Facile.
Okay.
This is my series in Italy. I like very much because I went, you know, with my camera with only one lens. It was the 85 with my young piano teacher I just met, and we took the train. I made pictures a lot. And when I came back in Paris after, I took always picture, always, because I love Italy, because the young man was very easy to take pictures with, and it was like a movie after when I came back.
Well, I want to tell you that when I saw this series, I felt absolutely, like I mentioned in the beginning, that you have a properly cinematography language. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it makes me a lot of pleasure because I love cinema, you know. So I don't have all the pictures, but you can see them on Facebook a little bit. It was Lover on the key of the train. This is the young man. We were like in a story, you know, not like in the real life. It was not a love story at all. It was just two friends going in Italy because they like Italy.
Yes.
And he learned me music, so it was
It means you make means you didn't went to Italy and then you spend it. You use your camera to shot this. It means you went there to film with your photography camera.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, we went in Italy because we wanted to go in Italy and to spend 5 days. We said we go to Pisa, to Siena, to Genova. So we made the trip in train, and it was funny. And it was we talk about music, we talk about literature, cinema, and I made a lot of pictures. And after, I didn't know I make so nice pictures because voilà. And I have so much more, but it's an very important series for me, this one. Voilà, but because they are not on my website, because I don't want to put everything on my website.
Of course. Let's keep something in secret. Voilà. And then let me ask, and then You means you start to collaborate with Cahiers du Cinema?
Voilà. So it was just 1 year after.
For 15 years. No, you were 15 years there.
Yes, 15
Wow.
years, yes. So I began in Venice because I called the Cahiers du Cinema and I told them I can go to Venezia because I have a little flat. I can go there. So I met Thierry Jousse, who was the director, rédacteur en chef, and he told me it's okay, you can go. And it was my first festival, my first work for a magazine like this, and I make it was very, I was afraid to do that, because I didn't know how it was to go to very quickly to make portraits very quickly of people. And it was in 92, so it was not so crowded.
Yeah.
And I began to make pictures of a lot of directors, and we go on. I make my prints in my after in Paris. I make pictures of a lot of people, and I make my prints in my little labo, and I bring them to the Cahiers du Cinema. And it was artisanal. It was not a very good, very big way of making. It was not. It was not, I couldn't live with only Cahiers du Cinema, but it was so interesting, so good, very, the people were so nice. I always go there to speak with everyone, and I met a lot of directors.
Then there is when you start to work to take portraits like people like Wim Wenders, like David Lynch, and other, let's say, non-French people from the cinema.
Yes, not French, because in the festival we met a lot of strange foreigners, and also I met Abbas Kiarostami, the director. I didn't know his movies before, so I discovered him and his movie. It was wonderful, and so I discovered other directors, Sokurov, for example, or also Asiatic directors, also David Lynch, also Montero, Marco Ferreri, Abel Ferrara, and little meeting like this, but so comment on dit, stimulating, maybe.
Yes.
How can you say? It was energy, beautiful energy.
But in the time when you collaborate with Cahiers du Cinema, let's say you work only for them, or you were still doing your projects and asking to the kind of, let's say, same people to make your portraits, or they hire you to make portraits for them. You keep doing the two things in parallel somehow?
Yeah, sure. I was preparing always an exhibition, and also I was working with other people. Yes, sure. I worked always, but with the Cahiers du Cinema, it was a special way. I could just arrive at the house of a director, and with my little camera, just make 2 or 3 portraits like this at home. It was a way, like I like really doing that, just one portrait, or so I could go to Maurice Pialas, also make some picture of him. The first one was Jean-Claude Guiguet, I remember, or Christine Pascal, who is dead now, or it was just a meeting, and what it was really nice. I was the only one during years making pictures for them, so I could make a little bit like I wanted. So
then let's go to a bit to the gossiping side. Can you tell us? Well, you mentioned a lot of names. Any story? Any something funny, crazy, surprising, whatever? Can you explain us something?
You want some stories?
Yeah, anyone? Yes, of course.
Yeah, sure. It would be
of course, a story that you can tell.
I think I have no story I can't tell, but no, I don't have. I saw only beautiful things everywhere, you know. Qu'est-ce que je pourrais raconter comme histoire? I was in Cannes, you know, with the Quai du Cinéma. It was in 93, 94, and it was not a very good story, but so I met Abbas Kiarostami, who is very important for me, and I said to the Quai du Cinéma, I will ask Abbas Kiarostami to make me do the picture he'd like to make. So I asked him, tell me what you want me to do in Cannes. So he told me things at the beginning. You can take the pictures of people walking on the street or things like this. But after we saw again, and he told me, no, I have the idea, very good idea. You take the car, who bring the directors and all the people to the palais. You take this car, and from the car, you take pictures of the people who look inside of the car, and you will see all these faces. So it was a very good idea. So I take the car, and we make several turns because it was so quickly. You know, we arrived near the palais. It was very quickly, and all the people look inside to see. It was only me, you know, with my little camera down. I was downstairs, and there was the daylight very at the end of the day. But it was so quickly for me. It was beautiful to make that, you know, because all the look of the people, and so we make maybe 6 or 7 or 8 rounds. All the city we had to come back. So I had my picture. It was a diapositive, you know, how do you say in English?
Yes, yes, we understand. Yes.
And when I go to take my diapositive at the labo in Cannes, everything was flou. How do you say flou?
Blurry, not focus.
Yes, not focus.
Yes. Oh wow.
So it was terrible. Now I think the pictures are beautiful, but
so let me ask you: can you show us anyone?
Oh no, I can't.
Okay.
I should prepare that.
Then look, we're going to do one thing. In the next days, whenever you can, send me, and I will put it in the Facebook event that will be already passed. But if somebody's interested, they can go there and to see it because I am very interested. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So when I show Abbas Kiarostami the picture, he was very sad and very. He was not happy at all. He said, "You can't put that in the," because we didn't put it in the Quai du Cinéma.
Okay.
Because it was not like he wanted it to, out of focus. Yeah. So it was a really strange experience for me, you know, and I was so sad after that.
Okay.
Voilà.
Anyone else that you want to share?
With the directors of the Quai du Cinéma, you mean, or?
Oh, in general, means you shot millions of portraits with, well, thousands of portraits with thousands of actors and actresses and everything.
Yes, I can speak about my first.
Let me ask you something. It was anybody that, because we understand, like you say when you are taking a portrait, somehow it's like a love relation. It was anybody that you were in front and you thought, fuck, how I will take a photo to this person? There is no connection at all. I don't feel nothing here. How can I do this? Let's shot and let's see.
It happens, of course, because you know, I met so many people, so many I have, you know, so much people, but not a lot. It was less and more like a little love story, but some people, I love some people, you know, but not everyone, because some are less interesting than others.
For a personal feeling, probably just for a personal connection, sometimes could happen.
Sorry, sorry.
Just for a matter of a personal connection with the other person.
Yes, it's like when you meet someone, it's the
Okay.
same. You can meet, but just a moment of the photo, you know, something happened and I forget everything. And even if I don't really like these people, I could like her, like the people, just for the picture.
Yeah.
It's what is magic with the portraits, because there is something very strong. And I can show you some picture of people who are not actors. I will show you now this.
Okay, please.
I wanted to show, you know, a series. It's not star, so it's interesting also. I made in my building 20 years ago when I left my flat, because I like very much this flat, and I asked all my neighbors
Oh.
to make pictures. So it's not like, and I will show you like this because I can't show you. Tell me if you can see.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
So it was, for example, the woman of the second floor.
Yeah, really nice.
It was the man of the first floor. The family of the fourth floor.
Okay.
The writer of the fifth floor.
You bring the building with you. That's beautiful.
It was the musician in the little room in the sixth floor. You can see well the picture now?
Yes, 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 we see well, yes.
It was the professor very a Greek professor in the fourth floor.
This photo is beautiful, really nice.
Yeah, he lived in a little room, maybe 6 meters. You know, really.
It sounds like today. It sounds like a typical apartment from today in Paris.
Yes, it was the doctor.
Okay.
Voilà. This was my neighbor.
Very nice.
Voilà. It's well, that's all I have because I looked at them very quickly.
Beautiful.
And after I made a series of African families in the same.
I want to remember the people, whoever is watching this talk, that if you want to make a question, do it in Facebook, and then at the end, before 6:30, we're going to answer them. Well, mainly Carole will answer them. Tell me.
So I made also this is just to show a little bit of pictures of not cinema. I met some African family with my boyfriend who made a movie about people who has not the papers. It's Jacques Kebadian, d'une brousse à l'autre. I met some people who were changing their house. They were living in a very old house, and everyone changed.
Yeah.
In a new house.
And
so
this is the portrait of them when they arrived to the new place.
This one, yes, this one was in an old place.
Okay, there are from the old and from the new. Okay.
And it was a subject I like very much.
Yes.
So I met a lot of my first color work for me. It was this.
Yeah.
And they dressed and they, you know, they makeup also. They were beautiful, all the women.
Yes. Well, still today, when you go by Paris or wherever you go, you see them with these beautiful fabrics, with these beautiful dresses, so colorful and so, yeah.
Oh, that's why I wanted to take pictures of all these people. Voilà, mais on voit pas très bien là quand même. Yes. Voilà. So I show you il y a ça et ça. Attends, il y a encore 3 more because I like them very much.
Okay. Yes.
This is the father because I didn't have a lot of men.
Yes, I saw that they were not men. Yes, they were kids and.
Ouais. Voilà. This is an important series for me also.
And then let me ask you: you make some exhibitions in Modela Photo?
Yes.
In '92, I think that I saw that was your first time. Then you did it again, and blah blah blah.
I made one in 92, one in 94 with the pictures of the Quai du Cinéma.
Yes.
The first portrait I made for them, I made this exhibition. Also in 98, I made the exhibition with the lovers. I show you this picture because they are not on my website. Alors, comment on fait là encore? Wait, David. And after, ask me something if you want.
Yeah, well, I just remember the people again that they can answer whatever they want to answer. And yes, okay.
Attends, voilà. So this is the one I made in the Mois de la Photo in 98. It was the lovers.
Mm-hmm.
I asked real lovers to come in my house and to make pictures with me. Voilà. I can just go back once.
Meantime, you leave these photos. Let me ask you, and this is something not exactly connected with your photos, but obviously connected with your work. I have been in Modela Photo, let's say, recently in the last years. You are from Paris. You participate for '92. How you see the evolution of the Modela Photo, for example, that you I suppose that you visited, also participating or just visiting?
But now, you know, it's over, the Mois de la Photo. There's no more now. There's no more. And it was very nice because in every place in Paris you could see photos, and until 4 years ago it was very, very interesting because we could see a lot of things in different places, and it was always free to see the exhibition. And so now they stop now to make
but
that.
They stop or they move to April? Because before it was in coincidence with Paris Photo. When I was last time, it was in coincidence with Paris Photo, but then they decided to move to April, and then Paris Photo became, in fact, like Modela Photo.
No, they didn't move because, you know, it was a very good friend of mine, Joël Brard, who is not, who is dead now, but who made the Mois de la Photo for years and years. And after they tried to make in April with François Hebel once.
Yes.
To make the Grand Paris.
Yes.
And after François Hebel stopped because he worked at the Fondation Cartier-Bresson in Paris, yes. And Jean-Luc Monterosso stopped working in the Maison Européenne de la Photo, and the new Simon Becker doesn't make the Mois de la Photo for the moment.
But actually, for example, last autumn I was in Paris Photo, and in fact, it's like it was Mois de la Photo before. Somehow, they have a lot of locations, a lot of like La Maison Européenne de la Photographie. It was also an exhibition there. It means it looks. I mean, from outside, from a visitor side like me, it was like if they mix both things, probably for a shorted period. Of course, in the Grand Palais is for a long weekend, but you see also in Saint Germain, you see Polycopie.
Because there is Photo Saint-Germain. Photo Saint-Germain is a new festival for 5 or 6 years, every year, because the Mois de la Photo was once each 3 years. So Photo Saint-Germain is every year only around Saint-Germain, and it was the same time as le Mois de la Photo. Yes.
Okay, and then now they keep it, but no Mois de la Photo, no.
Yes, I don't know. I think they will go on Photo Saint-Germain. It's nice also.
It's nice, of course.
Yeah. It's a little bit like the Mois de la Photo, but only around Saint-Germain-des-Prés.
More local.
Yes.
And then there is Mois de la Photo Off also, that is quite interesting too. Or it was. It is, I think.
Yes, but now, you know, it's not exactly the same like before. Before it was really in November, always.
Yeah.
Even before Paris Photo, it was le Mois de la Photo. Now it's not. There's no more.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to start to finish the questions. If somebody has something, you can talk. We can talk more if you want. I want to see, because you make, let's say that you make a movie with your camera in Italy. I saw. I mean, you have been all your life connected to the cinema through François Truffaut in the beginning, in your very early years. Then, thanks to Dominique and other stuff, you have been always there. And then I was checking, because it was like an obvious consequence. And I saw that in your website, you have a couple of short movies, yes. And then this is going connect with somehow the future. It means, what are you planning for the future? It means, well, sorry, before to go to the movies, because if not, I will kill myself. Very important. You have 2 amazing books.
Yes, we have the nice Isabelle Huppert, the beautiful Isabelle Huppert.
Well, and we didn't talk about her yet, and I will steal some minutes, because I
have it
so
here, you know.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
My book, Isabelle Huppert.
For how long you collaborate with her?
Well, it was 25 years of picture. When I first met her, I thought I have to make a book with her, because I feel it was someone I could make a book with. You know, it was because she loved making pictures, and I could do whatever I wanted with her. We met first in 1994 at the Cahier du Cinéma, because she making her special Cahier du Cinéma, Isabelle Huppert. So we met once like this, and after she called me and she asked me to make a picture of her like Marlène Dietrich.
Oh yeah, yes.
It was a little bit like my first meeting with Juliette Binoche, because we made some picture with Juliette Binoche transforming, you know, playing. So it was the same with Isabelle Huppert. So we decided to look at the pictures of Marlène Dietrich and to make a little bit the same with the same costumes, yeah. Or we can see maybe on my website. And it was an incredible
wow, yeah,
session of and she was so easy to make pictures with. She was you know, she was here. And
for me it's strange that you didn't met her before, because I mean the French cinema is quite large, but I mean finally is a community. And
no, I don't know, I never met her before.
Yeah,
it was funny, because I met a lot of other actresses, but not her. Not her, not Catherine Deneuve also, not maybe I met a lot of actresses of my age. Maybe it was that also.
Yeah.
But so it was so easy with her to, because I think she understood I have also personal work, you know, that's very important.
Of course, yeah.
So after she brought me to the. So this is all the first session with her in my book.
The idea of the book was her? How was?
The idea of the book?
Yes.
But I always told her before, we'll make a book together. And she told me, yes, so sure, of course. And so we always say we make pictures for us, you know, for it meant for the book. So I didn't make pictures all the days or all my life during 25 years.
Yeah, of course.
Like this. I saw her, I lost her, I find her again. And but after the first session, she she asked me if I want to go to Brazil with her.
To where?
To Brazil,
Okay.
to
Wow.
Rio de Janeiro.
Yes.
And we begin to make some pictures like this in the streets everywhere, and you know, like a reportage.
Yeah.
I've never met that before with an actress like this.
Yeah.
Just taking a picture like this. It was not with actress. I made that. It was with some friends or with some. So I thought it was wonderful to can do this with a very famous actress.
Yes, and I will tell you, exceptional also. You know,
Sure.
he's very particular.
Absolutely. Well, that's right. After I made some other picture of her in between 89 and 80, before 1905 or and until 99 or something like that. After I began to work a lot in the with an agency with the feminine magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And I began to work a lot with a lot of magazine for women, so of cinema, of everything. So less for the Cahiers du Cinéma,
Yes.
but so we made a lot of pictures together. I can show you on my website, maybe it's better.
Okay. Okay.
Où est-ce qu'il est le site?
And yes, and then through your website, you are going to show us also a little bit the other book.
The other book?
The other book that you did before.
But the book we saw because it was my first picture.
Oh, yeah, it's true. But, well, yes, it's true because we didn't mention when you, I think that when you show us the work that was Entre John's Fields, we didn't mention that you did the book with this project.
Yes, and it was Alain Bargala, I met at the Cahiers du Cinéma, who wrote the first book with the first picture, but also with Isabelle Huppert. He made me a beautiful text. Alors là, on n'a pas partagé l'écran. So you can see the picture?
Yes, yes, perfectly, yes.
So it was in Cambodge on a movie. Je sais pas si je peux arrêter le truc. I went to see her on le barrage contre le Pacifique in Cambodge. It was so beautiful place. So I spent 1 week with her making pictures like we wanted, you know, like this.
It means not pictures during the filming or the movie, just with her.
No. Yeah, I made a little bit, but you know, I don't know making pictures on movies. So yeah. This was a fashion series for a magazine in the metro. She asked me, Isabelle, to make pictures in the street and in the metro. I don't have a lot on my website. You have to buy my book.
Exactly, is what I want to say. Tell us how people can buy your book. Can they buy it online? Because we're not in France. Well, some of the people that is here watching, or they will watch later in YouTube, probably they are in France, they can buy it, or they are in Europe, they can buy. It's possible to buy it online?
Yeah, sure. It's De La Martinière who made the edition. Yes, of course, they can go to Amazon, to I don't know, everywhere to buy online. Sure.
And in your website is a book, a title, everything is easy to find.
Yes. And the book is it's a new book. I just made it 6 months ago. Something
it's
like
what
that.
I want to ask you. I think that is last year. I mean, it's last year because you showed me almost when it was in the oven somehow.
It was in November.
Yeah.
November. So it was 5 months ago. It's a fantastic model, Isabelle Huppert.
Yes.
So this was the picture in Marlène. I showed you the first. Everything is mixed there. This is the most beautiful series I think we've made on the bridge. I made her running on the bridge. She ran at the end of Sunday. It was a very big moment.
Beautiful.
Voilà. So now we saw that.
Yeah, I mean, I can kill myself if I don't ask you about this book. Sorry, everybody, because I didn't ask before.
You don't have it, David.
The book, or
Yes.
I don't have to. I know I don't have the book, not. But I hope that soon this lockdown will pass. We'll have the opportunity to travel. Probably I cannot go to Arles because I don't know if Arles will be done at the end. But I would like to come to Paris in the autumn for Paris Photo, and then of course I will buy it and you will sign me.
Sure.
And if somebody from Belgrade wants the book, I will bring it for you, signed it by her also. Then,
I'll show you the portraits for a little bit for the Cahiers du Cinéma.
yes, yes, yes,
Because this is David Lynch in Cannes.
yes.
This is Isabelle. It was this is Montero. Also in Venezia, I made just 2 pictures like this. You know, he was waiting for the photographer. The other photographer was sitting there. I just took the picture. Joao Cesar Montero, a very big director I like very much, who is dying now. Jean-Luc Godard didn't want to make pictures for the Cahiers du Cinéma. When I asked him, it was in Venezia, he told me the Cahiers du Cinéma had a lot of pictures of me. So I couldn't take really a picture of him. So I ran after him on the corridor of the hotel. I ran, and one day I could take this picture, only one.
Well, it's a good one, by the way.
Is Abbas Kiarostami, because we never see his eyes. So one day I thought the best way to see his eyes is to be up.
Yeah, I understand.
So, voilà. This is the daughter of Makmalbaf. She's Samira Makmalbaf, very good director, also from Iran, in a little room, hotel room. Philippe Garel, it was in Venezia, you know, the Florian. Just
It's great. It's crazy because when I saw the photo, I was convinced that was Gerard Depardieu. I was convinced.
it's funny because for me it's not all. I never made a picture of Gérard Depardieu. It's really for me. It's
This is something really rare. My God.
I would say Gérard Depardieu. Maurice Pialat, for the Cahiers du Cinéma. This is not for the Cahiers du Cinéma. It was Isabella Rossellini. It was for another magazine. I was very, very proud to meet her. It was incredible.
Yes.
This is Chantal Ackerman in Cannes, you know, very quickly portraits, but very intense look of Chantal Ackerman. Aurore Clément, she was a friend, a beautiful actress. I love her, and we are still a friend. We met in '86. We say, wow, in '86 we met, and we are always talking together. Funny.
Of course. I don't remember his name, but I saw him millions of times.
Mathieu Amalric. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He doesn't like to make pictures, Mathieu Amalric. He said, oh, I don't like.
But he's very photogenic. He's very photogenic.
Yes, sure. It's very nice. And also Montero, the Portuguese director. Beautiful meeting with Charlotte Rampling, it was in it was one of my first big at the beginning, when I could begin to make very color pictures of stars from magazine, you know, and she told me it was so very good compliment. She told me it's like the pictures of Newton you made with me, of Helmut Newton. So I was so proud.
Yeah. She has something. She has for me something like Isabelle Huppert somehow.
Là, on yes,
Yes.
yes. Not really, not really. So
Really nice work. Yeah. You catch all of them.
this is Jean-Claude Brissot,
Mhm.
Sokourov in Cannes. This is a young actor. Eric Romer, Idrissa Ouedraogo. It was at the beginning of the Quai du Cinéma I met him. This is Oussia Ossienne in Cannes also. Kurosawa. I ran after Kurosawa in Cannes, you know. But I like this picture. We don't see him very much, but I like this picture. Et voilà. David Lynch.
Yes.
Je me repose un peu.
Yes. Then, just for finishing, I saw that you make these two short movies, like I said before I forgot about the book, and then that is connecting to what are you planning for the future? I mean, you're planning new exhibitions, new books, new movies. What are you? What
Yes,
are you
I don't know if I will make movies, but I will try. I I always wanted to make movies, but I made only one with Fanny Ardant, who asked me who told me, let's making a movie together. She was so kind, so incredible. So we made a little movie, 6 days. Nobody was paid. I had no money, just money to go to eat with the. We were six. One maker, one makeup artist, one hairdresser, Fanny Ardant, my assistant, and one young girl at the camera because I couldn't use the camera alone. It was so difficult. And so we began to make this movie. We write. It was a silent movie, you know, so I didn't have the sound.
Yeah.
And she told me now, let's make another movie together. She told me this 3 years ago. A long movie now. Don't make a short movie because no, it's not useful. Let's make a long. So I'm trying to write it.
Okay.
You know,
Okay, and you're
I
working.
hope I will do it.
You are making a script or something. How is it going?
I am writing, you know, but it's a movie about a photographer.
Okay. Okay.
She wanted to be a photographer on the movie, so it's a movie about a photographer.
Okay. You can
So
help. You can help a bit.
yes.
Okay. And what else? A new book probably?
I will make a book now with a book I want to make for years and years. It's about the place where I was born, the flat where I begin to make the picture. It's not really the maquette is.
Okay.
And it was a beautiful flat, so I will mix the picture of the flat. You can
Yeah.
see like this, dommage.
Yes.
And the pictures of all the people. I will show you some of Juliette Binoche. All the people who went there to make the picture with me. So this
Okay.
is Emmanuel Béard, and this is the series with Juliette Binoche.
Is it's like a memory, like a memorial to this place somehow?
Yes, exactly.
I can see for what we are talking today, and I discovered today how important is for you the place, the space, where it means your nest.
Sure. If I don't have a place I like, I can't make a good picture of someone. It's incredible.
No, but I think, sorry for interrupt. I think that it goes beyond this because you make the photos of your neighbor when you left the place. Now you're making the book of what your home and who passed by there. And you did also the project of this African community in Paris in the moment of transition or going or arriving.
yes. the places are the first thing important for me to make the picture.
Okay.
I don't know why, you know, the museum, and after. So when I work in Cannes, it was very difficult because in Cannes you can't see the place before. You can shoot the place. You put your director or actor. You have to do. It's an exercise, you know, where the people is. So, but it was funny to do this because I couldn't choose my place. It was
challenge.
yes, so it was funny, but I like places very much.
Okay.
I
Okay.
hope I didn't have a so bad English because it's not easy for me to speak English.
I think that at least me, I understood you perfectly, everything, and I am sure that the audience too, and the future audience too. And well, I just can tell you, thank you very much for this half an hour that we share here, for the time we talked before. It was a very pleasure to dive in your work to prepare this talk. And
thank you, very kind, and you understood very well my work.
Yes, and I hope that we're going to see each other in Paris. You have to sign me your book, and I hope that anytime we are going to see in Paris, in Belgrade.
Sure, you know, of course.
Belgrade Photo Month now. Belgrade Photo Month is in the internet. It means in the internet and on the air, but we are hoping that soon we'll be in a physical space.
Sure, it will be better. Okay, thank you, David.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Au
revoir. Bye bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Bye bye. Hop.